Yeah. Our remembrance could also mean human beings were created with the remembrance of God inside them. And these people have turned away from something their conscience has been screaming all this time. Even as they worshipped idols, something inside them was telling them this is wrong, because every human being has the dhikr of Allah inside them already when they were born. Every human being has fitra inside them. The Quran correctly describes a phenomenon and beautifully describes a phenomenon that we see in the United States all the time. Allah says that Christians, when they hear the book of Allah, you see their eyes roll with tears, and they say that because they recognize something from the truth, and they say we were already Muslim before this. Inna kunna min qablihi muslimin. I've met dozens and dozens and dozens, if not hundreds of Christians who, when they became Muslim, were like, something wasn't sitting right. And then when I heard this, it's like, this is what I was feeling all along. This is what I had inside me all along. Inna kunna min qablihi muslimin. So the idea of the remembrance of Allah is not just the khatib who gives you the remembrance of Allah, the revelation that gives you the remembrance of Allah. Actually, the remembrance of Allah is already inside every human being. They just suppress it. So Allah is saying, ignore someone who's ignoring their own heart, because that's already inside them. They're ignoring their own true self. So you don't have to worry about that. It's not them ignoring you. They're just ignoring the truth that is already buried deep within them, and they can feel it, but they're ignoring it anyway. So this could also mean the historical dhikrullah min ahdi alast. Before human beings were put on this earth, Allah gathered all of us in His presence. Al-ula, the akhirah, فَلِلَّهِ الْآخِرَةُ وَالْأُولَى, the earliest, historical moment for humanity. Allah collected all of us, and He asked us the question, am I not your Rabb? Am I not your master? Am I not your nurturer, your master, your caretaker, your protector? Am I not that? And we all said, Bala, of course, why wouldn't you be? Shahidna, we're testifying that you are. أن تقولوا يوم القيامة إنا كنا عن هذا غافلين. I'm saying this so you don't get to say on Judgment Day, we had no idea about this. We were unaware. You were aware. You already had this conversation. So when dhikrina can also be remembering this conversation we had, because that was the mithaq, that was the promise Allah had taken from us to accept Him as our Rabb. And now when revelation comes and reminds them of that original promise, they're not just turning away from this reminder, they're actually turning away from the first reminder. It's interesting. They're turning away from al-dhikra al-ula and al-dhikra al-akhirah. They're turning away from the earliest reminder. At the same time, they're turning away from the last reminder. فَلِلَّهِ الْآخِرَةُ وَالْأُولَى. Oof. It just keeps getting more and more beautiful. Like the way things connect in the Quran. How?